Happy Monday. Welcome. Oh my gosh, super excited. We are in the last month of 2021. How can it be, right? How can it truly be? And so I wanted to start tonight with just, congratulations on all that you've done. I know each and every single one of you, I get the messages all the time from you. I've had the growth, right? And had the consistency, and 2022 is going to be even bigger. I'm so excited. I have all of 2022 quarter one planned out, ready to roll, and I cannot wait to launch this next year with you guys. So we're going to start now. Just like everything in business, right? Everything in business doesn't go in the day. Like you don't wake up and go, what are we going to do today? Some of you may be there or were there until you learned some of these strategies with me over the last few months and year, but some of you are still in that waking up and going, what am I going to do today? And we need to change that, because that is not freedom. No, my friends, it is not freedom to have to think every single day, what am I supposed to do today? What is the plan today? No. We don't do that. We think ahead, we put into action that day, right? We already have the plan, we put it into action. And if we can put it into action sooner with scheduling and all sorts of things, then absolutely we do that too. So how many of you guys are like, I wonder what the plan is for tonight? Well, guess what? We're going to talk about goals, because we're focused on our daily actions, right? You're focused on what you need to do daily in your business to finish this year out strong. Okay. We've talked about all those things. We've talked about strategies. We've talked about promos. We've talked about time management. We've talked about all of the things. And now I want you to keep focusing on that and your day to day, but we have to already have our 2022 goals in our heads and putting them into action on paper, visualizing and planning for that amazing year, right? Without a plan, you plan to fail. So we're going to create our plan. Now I'm going to walk you through tonight on how I set my personal goals. And I have learned from many incredible mentors on how to set goals. At first, I started learning how to set goals as a student, right, in school. And then I was setting goals as an athlete. And then I was setting goals in my fitness and in my nutrition and then in my businesses, right? It just continued to evolve into whatever I was doing at that moment. I've always set goals. I've always known how important they are, but unfortunately, what I have found is not everybody has that luxury or that blessing to have incredible mentors along the way teaching you how to do goals. So I'm going to teach you guys my strategy that I use now as far as my goal setting. So it's a lot more in depth than just saying in 2022, I want to be a certain rank and I want to go here and I want to do this and I want to do that. There's a lot more to it. And so I want you to be ready for success. Like I want you to have the plan in place, the vision pictured, and all the things ready to roll come 2022, because you already know what to do to finish this year out. It's time to focus on what to do next year. Okay. I know it's a big ask, but I need you guys to really, really take this seriously, because on the 1st of January, do you want to be waking up going, oh shit, it's a new year? Or do you want to wake up and go, I know what we're doing. I know my plan. I know what I want to achieve. I know where we're going with this. That's how I want you to wake up. I want you to wake up confident, excited, ready to crush it. That's freedom. Waking up not knowing and having to create the plan is not freedom. It is like you're still chained to the walls of work. Yes, everything is work, but when you have a plan, it's so much easier. It's put into place a lot faster, and there's no I guess missing of the days. There's so many times, and agree or disagree in the comments. How many times have you woken up and said, all right, I got to get this done? Because you had to create the plan that morning, and that never, ever happened. Because not only did you have to think about the plan, you had to then think, how do I put this into place? You had to put it into place, and then you had to take action, right? Whew, that's a lot, especially when you got lives, you got other jobs, you got kids, you got all the things. I want you to have the plan already to then fill in the action. All right, let's get started. So there is 7 categories that I do my goals in. 7. Okay. So let's start with the first category. Just put a number 1 on your piece of paper or on your notes. And we're going to start with number 1. There are 7. We're going to go through all 7 tonight. I'm going to talk to you about how I created my goals, what my goals are for 2022. And some of them will be completed in the first quarter. And then I'll update them, making them bigger and so forth, right? So the goals we set today are just your draft. And you can put a completion date of January. You can be a completion date of March, April, May, June, right? It doesn't have to be December of 2022, okay? Those, I have a couple that are for December 2022, like they're my year-long goals, but many of them will be accomplished way faster, because if I want to get to that 2020 goal in December, I got to have these goals in place all through the year, right? Okay, so number 1 is our fitness. So every single one of you right now, I want you to rate your fitness from 1 to 10, 1 being non-existent and 10 being I am crushing it. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm moving my body every single day. I don't miss a beat. I am a rock star. Where is your, right now, would you rate your fitness? Okay. So mine right now, this is one that I'm working on. This is one of my lowest scores in my 7. This one here is I like to say 5.5, because I don't want to say 5, but I don't want to say 6. Like 6 is a lie. 5 is like, I'm doing more than half. Like I'm doing more than 5. So I'm just going to put it at 5.5. That's where I am on fitness. And the reason it's there is because I'm not consistent in my fitness. So in my fitness goals, now I know I'm a 5.5. Now, what about your fitness would you like to achieve? Okay, so we're going to pick 3 to 5 things within fitness that we want to work on. So if you're a 5 or you're a 7, what is that gap from 10 to 7 or 10 to 5 or 10 to 2? What is in that gap that you need to work on, that you need to focus on? And these things don't have to be hard, y'all. Like my one goal in fitness is to show up every day. That's the hard part, for 30 minutes and move my body, whether that's yoga, walking on the treadmill, lifting weights, it doesn't matter. I need to show up every day for 30 minutes, because fitness is one of my biggest goals. My biggest focuses in 2022 is not just business, right? Business is a big thing, but if I don't got my fitness, I don't got my health, I don't got anything. So I want to be focused on fitness and my health. Okay. So where did you rate your fitness? Drop it in the comments, share with everybody. What is, definitely you want to have 3, maybe 5, right? Up to 5 side goals, subcategories of fitness. So like I said, one of mine is going and moving my body for 30 minutes every day. No excuses, none. Okay. And so one thing I put into place, I always have, is my Apple Watch. And so I have this as my goals, right? So it's 30 minutes of exercise is my goal. And so I can track myself more this way as well. So you can change your goals on your fitness watch, whether you have a Fitbit, Apple Watch, whatever it is. And you can do that as far as your timing. Okay. Another one of my goals is to lose I want to lose 15 pounds by April 1st. Okay, so I want to have lost 15 pounds by April 1st. That's a goal. I didn't say 15 pounds in January, because for me and my lifestyle, it's unrealistic to do that. Now it may happen and I may have to go, I'm losing 30 pounds by April, but I know I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. And I know that consistently working on my nutrition and getting my body moving for 30 minutes a day, I for sure can hit that goal without stressing. As long as I stay focused and consistent, I can hit that goal by April 1st. Okay. So that's my second goal. My third goal underneath the umbrella of fitness is to hit my ideal weight by December 31st of 2022. That's my big goal. I want to lose and get to my ideal weight, my ideal health, right? So my ideal weight as a strong athlete that I've always been is to get to 155. Okay. So I don't have a ton to lose to get to there, but it's going to take work, because when I get to what my ideal weight is not just losing the weight. I want to be strong. I want to be fit. I have an image that I used to be that I want to compare it to, not be perfect to, but compare it to where I feel strong. I feel good, right? And so that's my big goal. So those are my 3 umbrella goals under fitness. You can add in here under fitness, you can also have your nutrition under here. So if you're not focused on eating healthy, this is where you can put in that category, eat, 80% healthy per week and 20% cheat meal. So what would that look like? Well, in a week, 7 days, you would have 80% of the time eating straight healthy foods, good, clean, healthy foods. And 20% of the time you would have your cheat meals like a pizza or Chinese. And so as a trainer and nutritionist, what that actually boiled down to is usually 2 meals a week, whether that be a lunch and a dinner. You would have kind of your ability to cheat with, don't overdo it, but so maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's hydration. Those things I got locked in. They're good to go. I'm not concerned with my nutrition. I just need to get in the gym. That's where my body changes the most, is when I'm working out. So that's number 1. So are we good with fitness? You found out where you're at and 3 to 5 sub goals underneath that, right? So that you can get to your big goal, what you want to achieve for the entire year. So my big goal is to get to my ideal healthy weight, feeling strong and fit by the end of the year. And to do that, I know I have to have these goals, these little micro goals, right? Okay. So we have number 1 done. Number 2 is our finances. Okay. So rate your finances from 1 to 10, 1 being non-existent, no budget, no money, in the negative, right? No plan, no nothing. 10 being, I have no worries. I'm good to go. I'm living the life. I got money to give. I got money to save. I got my IRAs. I got my kids' college done, right? You're like sitting beautifully. So where do you rate yourself 1 to 10 on finances? Okay. Now that you know that number, let's start thinking, what is our big goal for 2022? What is your big goal? Right? Now, I don't have a big goal for my finances. I have a lot of micro goals that I want to achieve. And when I achieve those micro goals, I then will have accomplished some big things, right? So you don't have to have like this big goal of being debt free, right? Unless that is your goal. But if you are, debt free other than your mortgage, right? I usually like to say that, debt free other than your mortgage. So maybe that is your goal, because you're getting closer, and it is something you can really focus on and achieve. But if that isn't, it's totally fine. So like for me, we have 3 mortgages, right? So to become debt free to me is stressful. I'm like, that's stressful. I'm gonna be working 24 hours and I ain't gonna get no sleep. So to me, that's not a goal of mine in 2022. Now, would that be a goal of mine to be by 2025, 26? Absolutely. But right now we're just focused on next year. Okay. So what are some of your micro goals? And so some examples of mine are, we started a new fund for the kids. So I have multiple different funds. We have a college fund, then we have a savings fund, and then we have, their legacy fund. We have all these things. And yes, these things might not be in place for you. And I understand that. This just gives you a bigger vision to look at, right? So I just started another fund for the kids because Jeremy and I were chatting the other day and we're like, oh my gosh, Jacoby's 9. He literally is going to be driving in like 5.5 years. 5.5 years he's going to be driving. Oh my gosh, right? And I started to think about it. And I started to think about our childhood, right? And I was like, I never had in my mind that I needed to save for a car as a kid. I never had a dream of a certain vehicle that I wanted to own. I just assumed my parents were going to get me a car. They were going to pay for it. They were going to do all these things. And that was the case. But I got a really ugly, rusty, dented car for my first car because I put no money into it. And so we're in a position where I was like, Jeremy, what do you think about doing a separate account for both boys? And each month we just have automatic payments going into it. And when they turn 16, that money can be used to purchase them the car they want, or they can get a cheaper car and the rest of the money they can have for themselves and save, right? So giving them some options. And this is going to be off of like them doing chores and stuff, but this is kind of going to be the automatic. He's like, absolutely. So that was one of my goals, was to set that account up, create that auto pay. So then by the time they're 16, they have a chunk of change that they can get a vehicle, and we don't have to stress when that happens. I'm thinking future, right? So that might be a goal of yours if you have younger kids like myself, or you have kids that are, you want to start doing this for college. These are things that I think are financial goals. The other one was to pay off one of the one and only business credit card that we have. And so I always have a goal to completely, pay that off each year. So that's another goal that we have, to shut that account down to 0, not delete it, but shut it down. And then another goal that I had in finance was to sit down with our financial advisor and think legacy, right? Think how do we set up? Right now we're set up for what we want, but what do we set up for the next step, right? Usually that conversation happens when you retire, but I want to have the conversation early so I can be working on that. So whether we put an extra $100 in somewhere each month, that helps with that legacy fund, whatever it is. So those are some goals to think about in finance. But some other ones can be, pay off the car, pay off this credit card, pay off the bed, pay off this. Don't use a credit card for Christmas. Don't use a credit card, right? Like you can have those goals. So what are your finance goals? What do you want your savings account to get to? Your, how much do you want to have in your emergency fund? These are just some examples. Okay. So that would be number 2. Good. Got it. Wrote down 3 to 5 goals for yourself for finance. Okay. Then the third one is family. Rate your, I want to say, relationship with your family, immediate and extended. Rate your family relationships from 1 to 10. And this is the average, right? You could be a 9 with your immediate and a 4 with your family. So we're going to say we're at a 5.5. Because this is all one, right? And so I look at family as a, all one. I want to always be working on my relationships with my family, my immediate family, my extended family. And so with that being said, where do you rate your family relationships, your family focus? All right. So what are some goals that you can set for this to improve? So I love, and I think it's so important to have present time with your family. And so one of my goals underneath family was to spend 30 minutes a day with my immediate family, focus time. Now, I'm not going to be able to spend 30 minutes a day with all three of them at the same time, right? Jeremy, Jacoby, and Jax. That's just not possible. One's over here, one's over there, one's over here. But if I can intentionally spend 30 minutes a day with at least one and get them my full focus, no phone, maybe watch a movie, watch a show, talk about school, talk about sports, right? All those things I love to do. That's one of my goals. So every day I want to spend 30 minutes with someone in my immediate family. My other micro goals, because I have an extended family, right? And they live in Ohio and Indiana. They're all over the place. And so my goal is to get to someone's house every month. So 12 times I'm going to have to plan this in 2022, but I need to go, spend time with my grandmother, spend time with my brother, spend time with my mother, spend time with my aunt, right? So I want to intentionally schedule time to go back home or go to my mom's in Indiana and do that exact thing, right? The other thing I have on here is to create my 2022 vision board with my family. This is something I've done for 7 years now. I have my own vision board over here, and then over there that I see every single day. I see both of them every single day. I have my team vision board, my business vision board over here, family, and personal. So I have 3 vision boards that I'm looking at. They're all 3 going to get changed and updated, but I'm going to schedule the date to sit down with the boys and Jeremy, and we're going to do our family one. And so what that looks like is they get to pick a few things that they want to get, achieve, do in 2022. And we throw a picture, or we, write it out on the vision board, and we put a date with it. So like, for instance, when I look at this one, Jacoby wanted to go to a NBA game. That was one of his goals for 2021. He wanted to go to an NBA game. Well, we just did that 2 Fridays ago. So he didn't put a date on it. He just said, I want to go to the NBA game. And this is for our year vision board. So he had that one. And then another one, Jax, he wanted a trampoline for the lake house. Okay, cool. So I knew he wanted that. And it just gives me an idea of what they want. And then when they do great, we do great with them, right? Or for them. And so bring your family involved in this vision board with them. Hold on. My oven's beeping at me. I'm making something. Hold on, I forgot. Hold on. Oops. Okay, coming back. All right, I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. I'll have to do that again here in 15 minutes. But totally messed up, and the boys wanted some sweets tonight. Yeah, I put it in right before I started this. Anywho, it is fine. They're gonna get them in the morning because they're actually like these cinnamon roll with extra goodies in it. And so we made them, got them in the oven. They went to bed, and now they'll get to have them in the morning for breakfast. Anyhow, okay, so what are your goals for the family? Number 4 is your field, your career, your business. Rate your business from 1 to 10. 1 being non-existent, just a thought. 10 being I'm crushing it, everything's great, I don't need to change anything, we're good to go. Where does this fall? And then I want you to make 3 to 5 micro goals around your field, whatever that needs to be for you. So some ideas would be to every single day show up for 20 minutes for my business and do my number one income producing activity. That's one goal. Perfect. Another goal can be to hit a certain rank by a certain date. I don't love that goal, but it is something that in this industry we are focused on, right? Is goals. Maybe another goal would be to, get 30 new customers in the first quarter of 2022. It's a great goal, but it's specific, right? 30 new customers or 5 new business partners. Remember, this is not for the whole year. These can be dates that are very quick or within the first quarter, first 6 months, and so forth. Okay, so now that we've done field, you're kind of getting the hang of this now, right? You're like, okay, I'm grasping this. I know what we got to do here. All right, so the fifth category I go in is fun. I rate how much fun I'm having in life with people. So I rate that. Last year, telling you, so I did the same strategy last year. Last year, my fun, I rated it a 3 last year. Like I was not having fun. We were quarantined, we were having things canceled left and right. I was just like, this sucks. And so this year when I rated it, I wanted to see that difference. Like I love being able to use this system because each year I can look and go, oh my gosh, I've grown. Like, look at this. So this year I rated my fun as a 7. And there's always room to grow, right? We're still kind of a little bit on the cautious side. So things are a little bit not as perfect as I'd want them to be, but where do you rate your fun? And it's okay to be a 3 because there's growth to happen, right? So what are some fun goals that you want to put underneath that you want to achieve in the first quarter, the first 6 months, in the year of 2022. So for instance, for one of mine is to go on a families vacation. So our best friends, we all hang out. And so I want to go on I want to plan a vacation with my family and their families in 2022. It can be somewhere an hour away, 2 hours away, an airplane trip away. I don't know where. I just want to plan something, right? So that's something I have on there. Another one that I have for fun is to schedule monthly girls' night outs. We spend time together at the sports with our families, but we don't actually get time by ourselves, like as moms. So we all were like, man, we need to do that. And I'm like, that is going to go on my list, is to schedule a monthly girls' night out, mom's night out, where we just go, and it doesn't have anything to do with our kids or our families, and it's just us. Another one is that you can do really anything under here. You can plan monthly, spontaneous trips with family, like to the zoo, to something cool, right? To the museums, whatever it is. Another one that I have is to take the boys on the train to Chicago. I want to do that next summer. So they've never been on a train. Well, they did, but it was for like Christmas train, right? It was like for 30 minutes, but I wanted to take them to the train to Chicago. They've never been to Chicago. So going to do that whole thing. That's something fun. Okay. So that is the 5th. The 6th is your faith. Rate your faith. 1, non-existent, to 10, crushing it. So I rated my faith a 6. And that is truly because I just personally am not able to get to in-person services. That's where I feel the closest to my highest self in my faith, is when I'm in person And with all the schedule, it's a little bit harder. So one of my goals under faith is to, no matter what, no excuses, show up in person or watch the online service for my church. That's when I'm closest, when I feel my highest, when I'm really at that point in my faith. The other goals could be to read the Bible or whatever book of your faith is in the whole year, right? Like have a goal to read it that year. I did that 3 years ago where I read the Bible from the front to the back in a year. And I did this app that helped me do it, which was awesome. And so that was something I did. And then with, COVID and quarantine and all that, then I stopped going. Obviously, church shut down, all the things, and it's been harder to get back. So that is another big one that I'm going to be working on this year, is getting back to where I want to be with my rating of where my faith is. Another goal within my faith is my daily gratitude, my daily time within my gratitude. And so I got my gratitude journal out, and I'm going to commit to every single morning writing in my gratitude journal, because I have failed in the last few months at doing that. So that's part of my faith goals there. Okay. And then the final one, number 7, is friends. And in the friends is also your mentors, right? Growth. Like, how do you feel with your relationships with your friends and mentors? Are you at a 7? Are you at a 2? Are you at a 5? And so I kind of put friends and mentors in the same category. Last year I was in a transition. I had one great mentor, but it wasn't giving me what I needed. So, or two, when I did my evaluation. And so I knew I needed to change my mentoring to really get my growth mindset really on fire. And so in 2021, I had to make some shifts, and I needed to change, where my focus was and who I was learning from, who I was surrounding my mind to, who I was listening to, who I was allowing into my space of influence, right? And so some of my friends, that list changed, where I wasn't spending time on the phone or in person with some people that wouldn't be in that growth space. So I had to start putting up some boundaries, right? I had to put some boundaries up. I had to switch mentors. I had to be like, okay, that was serving me then. Now I need a higher serving level from a different mentor. And so then I went that route. And so now this year I can say I'm at a solid 8 when it comes to my friends and my mentoring. I am on point, feeling good about it. And there's always room for growth. And so what are some goals underneath your friends and mentoring that you want to achieve in the first quarter, 6 months to the year, and really looking at that? Okay. So now that you have these 7 categories, you have at least 3 sub goals under each category. You have 21 goals already written out. How's that feel? Feels pretty dang good, doesn't it? Feels awesome. I love it. You, my friend, just did the draft of your 2022 goals. We did it in about 32 minutes. Pretty dang cool, right? Okay, so now the next step from here is going to be really sitting down and what is like your top goal for each category that you want to focus on first, because we cannot focus on all 21 at the same time. It's a lot, right? Like, you now know them, so you're subconsciously always going to be working towards them. And what I would love for you to do is create a picture, whether it's a vision board or you do it on Canva, where you're putting all these goals on one sheet and you are putting your date of achievement in there. Because guess what? That visualization every single day is going to make you take action and make you achieve those faster than you even put the dates on. It's pretty awesome how that all works out. But trust me, it works. So now you're going to go and create that vision board. You're going to create that board that shows all the things you just said you wanted to achieve, and go and crush it. Okay. So that's what you have to do for the rest of this time. I want you to write it all out. Now that you've written it down, I mean, last year I took just a piece of computer paper, 8.5 by 11, and I wrote each one down from the date I knew I wanted to achieve them. So from January to December. And so I put them in order like this, all 21 of them. Okay. And then I circled my top ones of each category. So then visually I see all 21, but popping out at me are my top 7. And once I achieve those 7, or once I achieve each one, I just do a little star, whatever you want to do on them to visually show yourself you did it. That's going to be your goal vision board, your goals. Now from there, you can get creative, and like my vision boards have pictures on them. So like I'll take these and I'll have a picture instead of my ideal weight as my goal on my vision board. That's the visual one, is a picture of me and the health and what I look like, where I want to be, right? So it's not going to be get to ideal weight. It's going to be the words. It's going to be a picture. It's going to be visual. And then when it's the credit card, you know, paying off the business credit card, awesome. It's going to have a picture of that credit card with it balance 000. I'm not going to say debt free. I'm not going to say paid off. I'm going to say balance 000, 0.00. That's how you take this and turn it even bigger into that manifestation, right? To be able to manifest these things because you're visualizing them and you're reading them and you're seeing them, right? You're feeling them, all those things. That, my friend, is how you plan for success. We just did that together. It did not kill you. You did it. I'm proud of you. Now, next week, we start learning how to put these things into place so you can have all of that achieved in or before the time that you chose to achieve it. So we can plan, we can visualize, right? We can set the goals and we can visualize the goals, but that's only the first part, right? That's the first part. The next part is putting a plan into place, meaning you putting it in your calendar. You have an idea of what you need to do to achieve that. And then you put it into action. So we created the goals. We got to create the plan. And then we got to put it into action. Are you guys excited for 2022? Like, I'm so excited. I did these goals yesterday for myself, and I have just been at a higher level of excitement and just like, oh, I'm ready for it. I hope you feel the same way. I hope you feel this. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I want this to be fun. I want this to be exciting. And I want you to know that you are worthy of every single thing you put down. Every single thing. And this is a journey that you're on, but you're not on it by yourself. We're all here to cheer you on, support you, give you advice, push you harder, give you grace, all the things. So send me a message, private message, and show me what the 21 goals are that you just wrote out in this exercise. Every single one of you who does that is going to get something from me in the mail. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's super exciting. So have an awesome, awesome rest of your night. I'm so proud of you for going through all of this with me. I'm so excited for what you have in 2022 coming. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited. It's so awesome. And with that, get it on paper tonight. Don't wait. Put it down on paper from start to finish on all the goals. Now, tomorrow or the next day, you can then do the visual vision board. I'll give you a couple days on that. But tonight, do not shut this off and go to bed. You sit down and you put these goals we just put in place on a piece of paper in chronological order of when you want to achieve them, and you circle the top 7, the top one from each category that you want to focus on most. All right? Get out there and crush it. You got this. Bye, guys.